Will an agent crack under the pressure to turn a profit? And it's time to close, but are the previous owners ready to leave?
I just want to get to closing in an hour.
So my colleague Anne and I have purchased our very first flip house. We both always wanted to do a flip house, so we decided to do it together. It's an old colonial that's an investment property for she and her husband and for my husband and I. Ta-da! Today we got the dumpster. Today we start demolition. Oh, yeah. A flip house is a very cosmetically challenged home that needs someone to come in a very short time frame and make it aesthetically what it's screaming to be. We're gonna go in and make it totally fabulous, elegant, traditional meets modern living. We're gonna do all the work ourselves, my husband and I, and we're gonna try and get it back on the market in 5 weeks. Anne is pregnant, she needs to be taking it easy, so we're gonna try and do this all on our own. I need a contractor to come. Our good friend Scott is our contractor on this project, and he's really going to be helping us get the project done on time. The floor guys have already gotten started. The kitchen is getting a total overhaul, everything new, new fan, new lighting. It's just going to be gorgeous.
We're just cosmetically, you know, bringing the house up to date. Basement.
If we run into any snafus, it's going to be down there. Here's the lovely basement. You're going to redo my ceilings. That's the big thing down here.
Sheetrock.
We bought this house for $540,000. We're going to try and keep our renovations at about $50,000. If we can list and sell it in the time frame that we want, we will gross a $100,000 profit for the two couples to share. How many days will it take to tile the kitchen?
I think we'll be in and out of here in 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so psyched with day one. The wallpaper is coming down super fast. The floors look incredible. I'm very optimistic day one. We'll see how things actually go, though.
As Vanessa begins to work on her new project, Sam tries to wrap up his latest deal.
Bob and Wendy are like me, they're houseaholics. They go to open houses all over the place. They walked into one of my open houses about, I guess, 6-8 months ago, and we clicked. When this house came on the market, I walked through it and I said, this is so much Wendy and Bob.
I came home one day and Sam had left a message. He said, drive by such and such address because that's your new home. And I thought, well, that's great. That's right around the corner.
It was just on the market. We're talking virgin. We were the first people to walk through it. It hadn't been even open houses, nothing. Bob was like, oh my God, look at those ceilings. I went, yes, yes, yes. Wendy said, oh my God, look at these bedrooms. I went, yes, yes, yes. So, I mean, I knew it was perfect. They knew it was perfect. It was a done deal. We sat, we wrote it down, we wrote it up, we were good. Called all the realtor, said, don't even bother ordering the sandwiches for the realtor open house, babes. This house is so sold. It is a classic, gorgeous Victorian. I mean, it's truly stunning. It has a lot of different things going on. It's a little bit Queen Anne, a little bit Center Hall Colonial, but it is truly the cream of the crop as far as South Orange goes. Some gorgeous wood floors inlaid, huge, very tall ceilings, I might add. And everything that the people before them did was absolutely perfect for the house.
Not only is Sam helping Bob and Wendy buy their new home, he's also helping them sell their old one.
I listed their house just a half a block away. So basically, I got the listing end of that house, and I got the buying end of this house. I am talking to Wendy every day, 3 times a day. She has this thing in her head, she must know, Sam is now applying shaving cream to his face. I will call him now.
So maybe he got a couple of nicks because of me, I don't know.
You get a gold star when I see you next. After the closing on their house, we're still gonna be friends, but maybe just once a day we'll talk. We're at Wendy and Bob's final walkthrough. This one is not gonna go smooth. I know, I can feel it in my bones.
We're doing the walkthrough, so we make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be before we go to our closing and we actually buy the house.
The other realtor warned me that these people are just not ready for a final walkthrough. So we know it's gonna be one big debacle. Usually when at the end of a move, you know, the old people wouldn't mind leaving a few things, which really nobody really wants.
So, does that mean we're set to close?
Showed them the contract where it says, you gotta get these out of here. So, you know, everybody's nerves are a little fried, including mine. So I just wanna get to closing in an hour.
So it's day 8. Everything's progressing very nicely. I've got family, friends, and contractors just cranking on the house.
The way this is hanging now, once the rocket's on, it's gonna sag.
Today's the first day that we're working on the basement. Lots of progress getting made, but Scott pointed out to me that there will appear to be a sag in the ceiling unless he does some extra work on that part. And we just decided absolutely do what needs to be done to make it look its best. All right, let's just do it. I'm impressed that this much has gotten done in one day as it is. Scott just reminded me that we budgeted 3 days to finish the basement, and we're not even close to the end of day 1, and he still thinks we'll come in under time, which is the important thing for me. So I think everything's going down fantastic down here.
Upstairs, however, is a different story.
We just had the floors redone, and they do not look good. So I went into the house today since the floors were finally dry enough to be able to walk on. And the stain is in these, it's just streaked throughout the house. And it just looks awful. Can they do a coat of stain over the 1 coat of poly that's already on there? Oh, they will buff it? Well, he could not have been nicer about that. They're gonna buff them down and put a 2nd coat of stain on and then start over with the poly. It pushes us back a lot on everything, though. I think everything is going great. I just am starting to realize I should have probably waited to do the floors.
Coming up, Vanessa's costs grow beyond her expectations.
$6,800.
And will the owners clear a path for Sam's clients to make it to closing?
We were supposed to close on a Friday, and 2 days before that, we found out that the sellers just weren't going to close on that day.
We've got remnants of the old red shag. We are day 14 on the flip house, and the kitchen has been completely torn apart. It has got to get nasty, just no hope in sight before the pieces can start coming together. My red wallpaper's done.
And the shelving?
We spent a little bit too much money at one of the larger construction supply stores, a lot of which was budgeted for and a lot of which was not and should have been. I'm learning that I have to be really flexible and stick to a schedule but be willing to adjust. And I think I'm adjusting nicely so far. We've had to take on some pretty hefty budgetary additions that we didn't know we were going to encounter, but they're huge. Bathrooms and kitchens are what sell a house. And so this is where we're spending extra money. Bringing in the new recessed lights. There'll be a new one over the sink. We also realized when we started pulling things apart that the plumbing is so old, it's not gonna go back together really easy.
We're gonna have the center drain moved back.
That takes a pro. We would like in another 14 days to be having the house professionally photographed and having a virtual tour. We're halfway there. Hey, Scott, are we halfway there?
We are halfway there.
Okay.
Despite the mess left by previous owners, Sam attempts to lighten the mood during a walkthrough of the house.
Third floor.
Third floor, then we'll work our way down.
You got this thing going on here. You could be Rapunzel. Think about the possibilities.
We were supposed to close on a Friday, and 2 days before that, we found out that the sellers just weren't going to close on that day.
Once I move all the furniture out, we'll be good. For a final walkthrough, a house should always be swept clean, everything out of the cupboards, everything out of the basement, everything out of the backyard. I mean, basically, totally empty shell. So when the new buyers go through it, they can actually focus on just the house and nothing else. It's a violet.
It's in the purple family.
It's a violet.
So we're probably going to take this wall down, push it back 20
And I can
feet.
see where you need to add on because you've only got 8,000 square feet now. So I can see where you need additional space.
Let's go.
Yes, we wish the house was totally clean and ready for us to come in and get busy, but it's not. You know, if this is the worst situation we have, then we're okay. We have every confidence that he will finish getting his stuff out and that we will move forward.
To closing, we will go. Hi, how the Mario. To closing, we will go.
After getting assurances that everything will be removed, Sam accompanies Bob and Wendy to their closing.
Sam, I don't know how we could have done this without you.
I agree.
Closings are funny things. You go in, you sign a few papers, and you get some keys.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Did you hear the best? Katie took the key and said, Mom, can we go home now?
Bye.
And Robert, in all seriousness, it's not just the money.
It's day 22 on the flip house. Kitchen and bathrooms are still getting worked on, but the rooms that are done are getting paint now. Today is a painting extravaganza. Painting takes like so much longer than you ever anticipate. Because I say to my clients all the time, oh, it's just paint and carpet. It's just paint and carpet. Hire a professional painter. That's all I'm saying. And there's more plumbing work that has to be done.
$6,800. $6,800 to finish the plumbing. The original quote for the whole job was $3,500.
We had hoped to do the entire house renovation for $50,000 or less. We'd really hoped to come in with a 40-something number on the total budget cost. You got to get a quote from somebody else. You can't pay that much. We said our max was going to be 60. Like, if we went above 60, then unacceptable, like, we blew it kind of scenario. But I think we'll come in at 50, 55. That's my hope right now. It'll still be about 10 over what I think it should have been, but that's $10,000 in electrical and plumbing that I didn't anticipate. I've learned my lesson.
We've made some changes that have been add-ons, but I believe that they're going to be add-ons that she'll see benefit in the sales price of the house.
I feel good. This is the first day in a week that I'm like, okay, we can do this. This is gonna happen. We're gonna meet our deadline, I think. I hope.
Coming up, an agent on the run.
And I grew up in New York City. It was the race that you do if you're a runner and you're New York.
And does Vanessa's flip house look ready to sell?
I don't feel that it's a redone house.
Really early in the morning, and I've come to the day that I've been practicing for 19 weeks. It's marathon day.
Joanna decided about almost a year ago that she really wanted to run the New York Marathon.
My kids have made a little name stamp so that I could wear it so that when people see me in the race who don't know me, they can cheer me on and say, "Go, Joanna, go." It was always a personal goal of mine. I grew up in New York City. It was the race that you do if you're a runner and you're New York. I'm no longer in New York, but I'm still a runner. It's just kind of a dream.
She's been being really, really healthy. There's no fun, there's no drinking, there's no parties.
I am in probably the best physical shape that I've ever been in my life. I've been training for the full 19 weeks, and I feel really good.
We decided to get a bunch of friends and clients together to congratulate her. I intend to make sure that she stays in a party-ish state for the next week while she recovers.
I'm very excited, and I'm very, very, very nervous, but in a good way.
I feel really, really good. The last couple of miles were so rough. Like, I didn't think that I could do it, but every time I saw somebody who didn't have like half a leg, you know, I'm like, oh my God, you're my hero. And I was able to keep going. I don't know what place, but I came in under 4 hours. So I don't really care. I was pretty happy about that. Thank you. At least I got my exercise. That's right.
Joanna, congratulations, you are awesome, and thanks for my drinking buddy back.
Time is running out for Vanessa as she approaches the first showing.
Where's my screw gun? Tonight we're doing a pricing party. We've invited the agents from our office and the South Orange office to come take a look at the house. A, tell us a price range, and B, tell us a to-do list of items that they think should be done to the house before we put it on the market. I think what we'll probably do is have them write down their pricing opinion on a slip of paper, and then at the end of the night, we'll see what kind of numbers we have.
Who spilled the oil-based paint? Did I do that?
It's 30 minutes before the pricing party, and the kitchen is a complete disaster, and I